Thank you so much for joining me today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. Today we are going to be doing a chair yoga practice. We'll be doing movements that will aid in healthy joints as well as healthy hands. So if you have some coconut oil, I encourage you to bring that along with you. If you don't have any coconut oil, any kind of hand lotion will do as well. If you don't have anything like that, you don't need anything. It'll just make it that much better. So find yourself a comfortable seat and we'll get started. So now that you found yourself a nice comfortable chair that's sturdy and where you can be seated upright, you're not going to be moving around on wheels or anything, go ahead and find yourself in the present moment. Let go of anything that may have already happened. If you're, this video is going to be posted kind of during the holidays, so if you have any holiday issues, just set them aside for now. They'll be there for you later, I am sure, but just put them aside and take this time to nurture yourself, to create better health within yourself by becoming more present, giving that mind a break, and by getting a little movement in the joints. So, first things first, always let us notice the breath. Maybe close your eyes. If not, keep them open. Maybe notice where you feel your breath. Notice if you feel the breath in the belly. When you take your attention to the breath, do you feel it right at the tip of your nose? Do you notice it with the chest rising and falling? Or maybe you notice the pressure of the bra band around your ribs as you breathe. Maybe you notice expanding front to back as you inhale. Maybe you notice yourself expanding from side to side as you take in each breath. Notice how your body expands with every breath you take. And then notice how it softens and relaxes each time you exhale. If your hands are not already on your thighs or knees, go ahead and bring them there. And notice how your legs feel beneath your hands. Maybe you're wearing shorts so you can feel your skin. Maybe you're wearing sweats or yoga pants so you can feel that cloth underneath your hands. Maybe even gently rub the hands up and down the legs a little bit to warm them up. Maybe bring your awareness to the soles of your feet, the ground underneath them. Or maybe you're wearing shoes or socks. Just bring your attention there. Coming into the present moment by being completely present. And we're just going to get some movement in all of the joints today, and we're going to especially see how we can nurture the hands. So first things first, let's start from the bottom, and let's just rock the feet forward and back. Coming back on the heels, we'll lift the toes and even the balls of the feet. Rocking forward onto the toes and the balls of the feet, underneath the toes, we'll lift the heels. Just back and forth, getting a little gentle movement in all the toes and getting a little gentle movement in both ankles. Back and forth. Hands still on your lap here, noticing the texture underneath the hands, the texture underneath the feet. And then let's go ahead and lift the right leg, and you can interlace your fingers and hug the right leg into you by wrapping the fingers around the shin. And then let's rotate the ankle in one direction. Doesn't matter which way we start because we are going to balance it out. And then we'll reverse the circles and rotate in the opposite direction. Really pulling the shoulders down the back, lengthening through the neck, tucking the chin. And then we'll flex the foot, pointing the toes up towards the sky, and point the toes, pointing the foot down towards the earth. Sometimes you might get a little cramping in the foot when you point the toes. If that's the case, press down into the ball of the foot as if you're trying to make like a high heel shoe shape or a Barbie shaped foot. Poor Barbie only got to wear high heel shoes. That's messed up. Well, maybe they make them better than they did when I was a little kid. Because I'll tell you what, I don't wear a lot of high heeled shoes anymore. And maybe just kind of wiggle the toes here. And then we'll go ahead and reach around underneath the thigh. Or if you prefer, you can remove your hands all together. Interlace the fingers here if you are holding the thigh up. Re-establish a nice long spine, shoulders down the back, tucked chin. And then we're going to just kind of tick-tock the leg and the knee. Just back and forth. Maybe engaging the core a little bit here to make it a little more challenging. Maybe rock the foot front to back. You can hold on to the chair here if you prefer not to hold the leg up. And then we'll do some circles in the knee in one direction. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. And then let's go ahead and set that leg down. Reestablish your breath. Reestablish your connection with the earth, with yourself. And then we'll interlace the fingers around the front of the left shin, but this time instead of just defaulting to however the fingers naturally come together, go ahead and challenge yourself maybe to just switch it up so that it is the wonky side. Feels a little awkward, but we can be okay with awkward. We can rotate that ankle in one direction with this awkward clasp around our legs. Like I said, it's holidays. There can be some awkward conversations at the holiday table. And working with our bodies, with our brains, to go in different directions that might not feel comfortable can help us to be able to deal with those kinds of situations when we're not on the yoga mat or in the yoga chair. Reversing the circles if you haven't already. Pointing and flexing the foot, or maybe pressing down into the ball of the foot here. Remembering to keep the shoulders down the back. It's very easy once you get into these to sort of collapse forward, so always scan the body and make sure that you've got that nice, beautiful spine. And then we'll wiggle the toes a little bit. And then we'll either clasp under the thighs, still in the awkward clasp, or release the hands. And we're just going to kind of tick-tock that leg a little bit from side to side. Releasing or clasping around the thighs feels good to you. And then forward and back. And then we'll rotate the leg under the knee in one direction. And then we'll reverse those circles and come around the opposite direction. And then we'll set that foot down too. Now scooch to the edge of the chair as far forward as you can safely be. And go ahead and take a hold of either the arms of your chair, if your chair has arms, or the sides of the chair, and lift that left leg again. And this time we're going to circle the joint in the hip. Again, doesn't matter in what direction, because we will reverse the circles. And then reverse if you haven't already. Just getting some wonderful joint movement here. And then maybe open and close the thigh. Really engaging your core here to help draw that thigh in. You might even inhale as you take the thigh out and exhale as you take the thigh in. And then we'll go ahead and set that down. Reestablish this long spine, nice and engaged core. And if you're not sure what that means, one of the best ways I found for getting in touch with an engaged core is to pretend like you're trying to fog a window or a mirror. And just as if you're trying to fog it so you can write something in it. So it would be, as soon as you make that, that's when the core is engaged. So give that a try. That really can help you get in touch with that deep core. So lifting the left leg now, we'll go ahead and circle the thigh in the hip joint in one direction. Oh, establishing that lifted heart, tuck chin, shoulders down the back, engaged core. And then reversing the circles. And then maybe as we switch to going in and out, we can come back to center. Inhale as the leg comes out. Exhale, engaging the core as the leg comes in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Back and forth. Getting some nice movement in all the joints here. Getting that synovial fluid that keeps the joints nice and healthy and mobile to, you know, lube everything up. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and lube the spine a little bit by making also some circular motions. So first we'll start with a little seated cat-cow. So establishing that long spine, feet firmly planted on the earth, hands on the thighs. We'll inhale, arching the back, lifting the heart, keeping that chin tucked though to keep the neck safe. And then rounding back, drawing the belly button towards the spine, maybe reaching the fingers forward and giving them a little wiggle. Inhaling cow. Exhaling cat. And this time we'll add some circular motion to that. Inhaling cow, and then exhaling, circling over through the right and back to cat. And then inhaling through the left, forward into cow, making little spirals with the whole entire spine here. Really just making this as juicy as you can. Maybe you're wanting to keep the spirals nice and tight here. Maybe not much movement. Maybe it's very little. Or maybe you can really press into it, getting the shoulders and the neck involved perhaps. One more time in this direction and then we'll switch, going the opposite way. Think about like scraping every last bit of the brownie batter from the bowl with a spatula. That same kind of sensation. Really getting into all the joints and in between each vertebra. And one more time, coming back forward into cow. And then back to a nice tall spine. And then we'll just roll the shoulders a little bit. And we'll take the head from side to side. And then maybe we'll take the ears from side to side. Just getting a little movement in the shoulders and the neck here. And then back to the shoulders. We've rolled the shoulders. Now let's go ahead and take the arms out long and make some circles in the shoulders. Maybe going forward first. Nice and slow and fluid, or you can do this fast if that feels better in the body. And then we'll reverse the circles. Opening up through the heart. Making the circles as subtle as you like, or as generous as you like, whatever feels good to you. If you hear any snap, crackle, pops, as long as they're not painful, they're just gases releasing from your joints, like my elbow's doing right now, if you can hear that. Oh, there it goes again. Or maybe that's a tendon snapping over the top of a joint. And then we'll take the arms into cactus arms, and we'll make some circles in the elbows. Just going around and around like a spinning top. And then we'll reverse those circles. And now we get to the hands. Let's rub those hands together, getting them nice and warm. And at this point, if you have some coconut oil or some hand lotion or something on those lines that you like to moisturize your hands with, go ahead and bring it on over to join you. I've got just a little pot of regular old kitchen coconut oil, and I just refilled this little recycled pot from some CBD oil I got a long time ago that didn't seem like it was worth the money, honestly, for me. That's not to say it doesn't work for you, because there's as many different people on this planet as there are different ways to make us feel healthy. So I just keep this by my bed. I put it on my hands every single night. Just about a dime size amount is enough. And again, hand lotion is fine, but the cool thing about coconut oil is that it has polyphenols in it. And animal studies, hopefully cruelty-free animal studies, show that polyphenols from coconut oil can reduce inflammation in the joints. And coconut oil can be absorbed by the skin because it has medium chain fatty acids. And that's all my knowledge about that. So if you want to learn more about it, I suggest you Google it. But as you can see, it was solid, and as soon as I put it on my hand, it started melting here. So I just rub it around in my palms until it really gets nice and melty, and then we can continue doing the hand warming. Oh, creating lots of heat here now. And that's one of the things with painful and maybe arthritic hands is cold can irritate them or make them feel even more achy. So alternatively, heat might make them feel a little bit better. And then go ahead and just rub it in the coconut oil just like you would any hand lotion. And coconut oil is not too terribly expensive. Like I said, I just use a jar from the kitchen that I use for cooking, and I just take enough out to fill that little pot, and that probably lasts me a couple, 3 weeks easy. So it's not super expensive. But if you can, always buy organic. And then maybe go ahead and rub it in the wrists as well. And you can, like I said, I do this every night when I get into bed. So I really spend some good quality time on my hands every evening. So there is really no limit to how much you can massage your own hands, or any other part of your body for that matter. But just really get in there and think massage here. Think maybe using one hand to kind of massage up from the base of the hand up through the fingertips. And then switching. You don't want one hand to get jealous of the other. So we'll just switch here. And then I like like to get a little movement in the joints. So if you extend your thumb, and again, it doesn't matter which, because we're going to switch. Make it right there. And just use your other opposite hand to kind of draw from the hand all the way up the thumb and away. Kind of squeezing just as much as your body can handle, not to the point of pain, just to the point of pleasant sensation. Maybe the hurts so good kind of thing that you might get in a massage. And then I kind of like to just back and forth move the thumb joint 5 or 6 times. You can feel it sort of clicking in there, and we'll be increasing the synovial fluid around that joint. Same thing with the index finger. We're first going to just massage and squeeze as gentle or as firm as feels good to you. And then we'll move that first knuckle a little bit, just kind of moving along the finger and getting some movement in the joints. And then moving on to the middle finger, and then reestablishing maybe a nice tall spine as you continue to work, because it is easy to get all hunched over and into this. So reestablish that nice connected seat, continuing to move along all the fingers connected through the soles of your feet. Shoulders down the back as you move along, massaging each finger, finding movement in each joint. And then moving to the opposite hand, starting with the thumb here. We'll get a few massagey swipes in before we find 5 or 6 different movements in and out with the joints. And moving to the index finger, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Maybe noticing your breath as you move along. Keeping your attention right here where you are. We're almost finished. Now, getting to the last finger here, and again, you can stay here finding movement and massage in the hands as long and as often as feels good to you. And then we'll just shake everything out very gently, not trying to hurt anything, but just shaking it out. Maybe shaking the hands up and down, and then side to side, and then turning the wrists up to the sky and shaking them this way. And then we'll draw the fingertips out in front and wiggle the fingers, draw the shoulder blades down, plugging those arm bones into the shoulder sockets. And notice what you feel. You can have the hands soft here, or you can stretch them out nice and strong as you wiggle. And notice how you feel movement and sensation maybe higher up on your arm, maybe in the forearms, maybe in the biceps and triceps, maybe all the way up into the shoulders. Everything is connected here. So if we can make our hands feel better, if we can make our hands healthier, how would that expand throughout the rest of our bodies? And you can always do the same practice here to your feet and your toes. I'm not going to do that because I want people to watch my videos for the yoga, not so much the feet. You know who I'm talking to and about. And then we'll go ahead and just shake out the arms and let them relax, and rotate the shoulders up and back and down, up and back and down. And now your hand's all oily, so you might not want to put it back on your lap. So let's just go ahead and bring the hands to the heart. You can press those hands together, noticing the sensation all the way from the base of the palm, the heel of the hand, touching the opposite hand. Notice the thumbs and the pinkies as they are hugging towards one another. Notice if the palms really touch or if there's a little tiny gap there in the center of the palm. Notice how the knuckles touch at the base of the fingers, and then each of the fingers connected to one another here. Let's just take a few breaths together, inhaling through the nose, and then letting it go out the mouth or out the nose with a sigh. 2 more like that. Last time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this has been a nurturing and healthful practice of yoga for you. If you've liked it and you think it might be helpful for someone else, please like and share it. Let's spread yoga all around the world. I honestly think this world would be a better place if we all did a little yoga. I hope the rest of your day goes beautifully. Namaste.